we shall listen to our Rector's Awardee who garnered the highest general weighted average this academic year. She is the batch valedictorian of Class 2026. Alia P. Amboy from the College of Commerce and Business Administration will now deliver the response on behalf of all the student awardees.
To Very Reverend Father Richard G. Ang, OP, Rector of the University of Santo Tomas, Reverend Father Isaias Antonio D. Chonco, OP, Vice Rector, Professor Cheryl Peralta, DRPH, Vice Rector for Academic Affairs, Reverend Father Janelle N. Abogado, OP, Vice Rector for Research and Innovation, Reverend Father Roberto Eluanzon, OP, Vice Rector for Finance, Reverend Father Pablo Tichong, OP, Vice Rector for Religious Affairs, Reverend Father Louis R. Coronel, OP, Secretary General, our esteemed guest speaker, Mr. Stanley Ko, our beloved deans, regents, faculty members and administrators, dedicated support staff, our parents and guardians, and my fellow students and awardees. Good morning. I was 8 years old when I started being raised by a single father. Unconventional, but that's exactly the point. If there is one thing every person in this room has in common, it's that none of us got here on a straight, uninterrupted path. My dad and my sister, like most of our families, made everything possible without ever needing a medal to be proud. My Lola, my mother figure, her dream was to have me standing exactly here with her somewhere in that crowd. The last time I was at the podium, I was delivering her eulogy. But if she were here, I would tell her something that might sound strange coming from me. Lola, I was never the smartest person in the room. Look around you. I found myself surrounded with athletes who give blood, sweat, and tears. I've been in the same halls as students who built businesses from nothing, who stood on international stages representing not just themselves, but this country, who stayed up through the night not for a grade, but for a community they chose to serve. Students who published research, advocated for reforms, and created innovations that didn't exist before they decided they should. Some of them had parents on the other side of the world, working for their dreams, even if it means missing everything in between. Some were working for their own tuition between their classes. Some of them carried grief and kept going anyway. And then there were people who witnessed every chapter of those stories. As a student leader, our advisors, professors, and administrators saw us, not just at our best, but more so at our worst. Our failures, almosts, and struggles as a team, entering offices with tears rather than just smiles. And even then, they were there. Most of all, I am grateful to have learned from my fellow student leaders who taught me not just about systems, but about heart, who showed me what it looks like to sacrifice until it hurts. That is the standard, and this university deserves nothing less. So, 3 truths, not just mine, but ours. First, always put yourself in a room where someone is better than you. That is not defeat. That is how you grow. Second, your path doesn't have to look like anyone else's. My journey was everything but ordinary, irregular even. And I've learned that history And third, say it before it's too late. Say thank you. I'm proud of you. I love you. Now, the right moment is always the one you're already in. So, thank you, UST, the cradle and witness of our dreams. Thank you to every teacher, mentor, who saw something in us before we saw it in ourselves. Thank you to our family, the conventional and unconventional ones, the ones you were born into and the ones that you chose. Thank you most of all to God, who listened not only to our prayers, but also to the prayers of our loved ones that continue to protect us, even from heaven. And thank you, Batch 2026. Every single thing I know about competence, commitment, and compassion, I learned from all of you. Good day, God bless, and congratulations.